Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to 2018. Salute, much love to all my subscribers, all my old subscribers, all my new subscribers, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, everybody all over the world. Thanks for rocking with me. We made it to see another beautiful year. God is good all the time, and all the time He's good. Now, I'm really excited to see what 2018 brings. 2017. We saw it all. We saw just about everything in 2017. You know what I mean? I mean, just from the budget level on up to the mid-range level, on up to the flagship level. I mean, we had it all. I mean, there were a lot of trends that were set in 2017. I'm excited to see how those trends are going to be followed up upon here in 2018. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming. I know that CES is next week. That's going to be followed by the Mobile World Congress in February. It's an exciting time right now, man. I mean, a lot of stuff to look forward to for this year, and I'm looking forward to what 2018 brings. And so I wish much love to all you guys, much prosperity, peace, good health, all those things, just blessings, man. Blessings to each and every one of you out there. All right, now I'm getting ready to unbox a device. All right, we're starting 2018 off hot in the budget category. Okay, I've got here the Honor 7X. Now, this is the successor to the Honor 6S, which was a 6X. God, it's like I'm dyslexic. I can't talk. The Honor 6X was a really, really good budget device last year in 2017, but it seemed to have gotten overtaken by the Motorola or the Lenovo Motorola G5, the G5 Plus, and then later on toward the end of the year, they released the Moto G5S Plus, which was a more souped up version than the G5 Plus. And so, that just seemed to be the talk of the town, the cream of the crop, if you will, when you're talking about budget devices. And rightfully so. And so, with this particular release, I feel like Honor is just like, okay, hold on, Moto, and any other OEM out there that are trying to make, a splash in the budget realm. Pump your brakes for a minute. You know what I mean? They're like, we're going to do something that's never really been done in the budget category. You know what I mean? This device here, it's indeed a budget device, but there's a lot of flagship qualities about this particular device, and at the price point that they're asking, I mean, it's completely ridiculous. Again, so this is the Honor 7X. Those of you that don't know, Honor is a sub-brand division of Huawei. Huawei right now is the #2 top mobile carrier or mobile company, mobile OEM in the world. I mean, last year in 2017, they overtook Apple. I believe the order in which things that went in, it was Samsung, Apple, and then Huawei. Well, Huawei, now they've jumped Apple. So now it's Samsung, Huawei, and then Apple's trailing at the #3 spot. And some people feel like Huawei, at the rate they're going to take over that #1 spot from Samsung. And I really wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I've had a few of their devices, and each and every one of them were fantastic devices, especially the Huawei Mate 9. I think that was definitely one of the smartphones of the year last year in 2017. They're getting ready to follow that up with the Huawei Mate 10. I'm definitely looking forward to that. You guys keep it locked here on Pristine Mobile Tech, because I am going to have that here on the channel. So without further ado, let's get to the unboxing here of the Honor 7X. All right, y'all, so here we go with the unboxing for the Honor 7X. Now, as you'll see here, I basically just got everything that came in the box along with the phone here, just scattered out on the little table here. I did this unboxing last night, and I noticed last night, once the kids and everybody went to bed, I had some quiet time to finally just start editing the video and start putting all the pieces together so I can upload it to YouTube for you guys. Something happened and a bunch of the content ended up not getting recorded, so I had to do it over, and I just didn't feel like putting everything back in the box. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just put everything on the table here, and then name off the specs, and then we'll go over everything in the box, and then we'll pick up the phone and start playing with the device. So doing things a little differently, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta improvise. All right, so excuse me. Now, Honor 7X specs here. All right, y'all pay attention. Okay, display. We got a 5.93, basically a 6-inch LCD 18:9 aspect ratio, Full HD 1080p by 2160 pixel display. We're running a PPI pixel density of 407 for all of you techies out there. All right. We've got the Kirin, the high silicon Kirin 659 chipset. Now, these Kirin chipsets, these are Huawei's own chipsets that they make and they put inside of their phones. So the 659 is an equivalent to the Snapdragon 630. Okay, very battery efficient, very smooth running processor. Everything appears to be running buttery smooth thus far. So that's, so any device that you guys may have got your hands on that has a 630 processor or even the 625 or the Snapdragon 626 processor, the performance on the 7X here is going to be extremely similar to those experiences. Okay, now the CPU, we've got a Mali T830 MP2. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front. Now, for a while there, it wasn't specified what the glass is on the front, but I found a source online that did confirm that it is Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the front, which is solid. Okay, now we've got a full metal unibody going on, and we've got 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of onboard storage. Now, the international version actually has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. We do have dual nano SIM slots, or you can run a nano SIM and you can put an SD card in for memory expansion up to 256 gigs, that's solid. Okay. I think that I've been using a lot of devices lately that don't have SD cards, like the iPhone X, like my Essential phone, like the Google Pixel 2 and the 2 XL. I'm not a fan of not having SD cards because typically what I do, especially like when I'm doing my edits and stuff, like there's already my 128 gig SD card in this phone right here. So any pictures or videos that I capture with this phone, all I got to do is take it out, pop it in my computer, and I can go to my editing program, and that's when I can do all my edits as opposed to having to take all this time for it to upload through Google Photos and then have to transfer stuff over from one device to the next. And then you suffer from pixelation because the pictures, they don't come out looking as good as they do on the actual device because they're being transferred from one source to another source. I'd much rather have an SD card. Okay, so I love the fact that this has an SD card with expandable memory up to 256 gigs. Now, we're running EMUI 5.1 over Android Nougat 7.1. Now, I do understand that this phone is supposed to get an Oreo update. I just don't know exactly when that's going to be. I hope sooner than later. But, nothing's wrong with 7.1 in my opinion. A lot of people, I know they want the new update once it comes out. But, hey, man, I mean, it hits certain phones earlier than it does others. No big deal to me. The operating system isn't going to stop me from using my device. As long as the device is usable and everything is functioning properly, hey, I don't have a problem. I mean, if it doesn't get 8.0 6 months from now, hey, I'm cool with that. As long as the phone does everything that I needed to do, but hopefully it will get Oreo within 6 months. Okay. So this phone now, with the 18:9 aspect ratio, I mean, you can see the phone, it's a little taller, not wider. I mean, so basically, Honor has done with this device what a lot of other companies have done with their phones that have that 18:9 aspect ratio. And it seems like they've stretched it vertically rather than horizontally. And so it's 165 grams. It's a lightweight device. It's got a little bit of heft to it because of the unibody design. Very, very premium feeling material in the hand. I mean, you're definitely not going to be able to distinguish between whether or not this phone is a flagship or not. If you hand this phone to somebody and you ask someone, how much do you think this phone costs? Based on how it looks, based on how crystal clear and beautiful that 18:9 full vision screen is, easily they're going to assume, oh yeah, this phone is anywhere between $600 to $1,000. Because if you put this next to an iPhone X, if you put it next to a Google Pixel 2 XL, if you put it next to a OnePlus 5T, there's really no difference between the build quality with those devices. If you put it next to the Essential phone, I mean, which I think the Essential still is superior to a lot of these other phones as far as the build quality. I mean, that just tops the cake. That still is the standard in my personal opinion. But it's a really, really good build quality for the price point in which Honor is asking for this device. I mean, so just with that alone, I mean, that's solid in, the direction in which, these budget devices is going. And see, with Honor making this device in the manner in which they made it, it's going to push a lot of the other competitors that are making budget devices as well to up their game up. You know what I mean? Like Moto. So the Moto G6, G6 Plus, G6S Plus, is it going to have the 18:9 aspect ratio, or are they going to stick with the 16:9? ZTE, they're another company that makes a huge dent in the budget realm. They make a lot of good budget devices. What are they going to do next now that the Honor 7X is out? I mean, I personally, I don't really think that a lot of the other budget devices, although they're good, can compare to what Honor is doing right here, right now. You know what I mean? With the Honor 7X. And so, again, man, when one phone comes out that seems to trump the competition, then you're looking at the competition like, okay, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What y'all gonna do? How y'all gonna top this? Everybody wants to be the top dog. Man, step up to the plate. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see. Now, the cameras, all right, on the back of the device, we've got dual cameras. We've got a 16 megapixel rear sensor, and we've got a 2 megapixel sensor that its only capability is collecting depth information. That's it. It's not a monochrome lens. It's not a telephoto lens. Its sole purpose is to collect depth information for bokeh effect photos. You've got portrait mode on the front and the back of this phone with the selfie camera and the rear camera. On the front, we've got an 8 megapixel sensor that looks really good. And you have the ability to control the aperture. You know what I mean? So you can take a photo, you can edit the photo after the subject has been taken. You can add or decrease the amount of blur or not have any blur at all. And so again, for the price tag, that's a flagship feature right there. And the photos look really, really good on this phone. I'll display a couple of photos that I took with it yesterday before I close out the video here. So now battery wise, we've got a 3,340 milliamp hour battery. Okay, that's a pretty decent sized battery considering the fact that you've got a high silicon Kirin 659 processor that's very battery efficient. So look to have extremely good battery life. Now again, that's going to depend on your usage. Everybody uses their phone differently. For all you power users out there, yeah, you're probably going to need to charge your phone a little more. But moderate or light users like myself, you're not going to have a problem getting through a full day's worth of charge with the battery on this particular device. All right. Now, there is a fast charging technology. I don't know exactly what Honor is calling it. But I noticed yesterday I was at like 9%. I plugged the device in, and within 55 minutes, I was at 100%. So that's not bad. And also, considering the fact that now here's one of the downsides about this phone that I don't really care too much for. It's not a big deal, but in 2017, everything has been Type-C'd. Everything's been Type-C. Now, this phone is still being charged with the micro USB 2.0. I don't really understand that move now. I understand for the price tag, which I'll reveal to you guys in a little bit if you don't already know. Maybe this is one of those areas where they had to cut some corners. Maybe if they decided to go with Type-C, that it would have upped the price a little bit. But yeah, we're rocking the old school USB 2.0. Not really a big fan of that. Not really a big fan of the fact that this phone also does not have NFC. Now, again, that may be one of those things where they had to cut some corners for the sake of getting this price tag down to where it is. It doesn't really affect me as much. I don't do a lot of data transfer through NFC. Mainly, I just like to have NFC for mobile payments. If I decide not to take my wallet somewhere, or if I forget my wallet, it's a satisfying feeling knowing that, hey, I got my phone, the place where I'm at, they take Apple Pay, they take Android Pay, and then I can just make my payments with my device, and I don't have to sweat not having my wallet. Okay, but now, if you're the forgetful type and you get this device, make sure you don't forget your wallet, because there is no NFC, so there is no mobile payments, there is no data transfer through NFC or anything like that. So keep in mind for that. Now, the colors that you can get this device in is black, blue, gold, in red. Now, red is my absolute favorite color, red and black. And you guys already know, I see I got the black one here. It's all black everything. No racist, man. You know what I'm saying? All black everything, no racist. But if I see a red one of these bad boys, I'm copping. All right, I'm gonna have to cop that because I love red. Red is my favorite color. And I think it's kind of interesting how a lot of reviewers, they'll get a phone and then another color will be revealed and then they'll get another one and they're buying these devices. And I'm like, well, yo, it's the same phone, yo. So why buy another one just to display the color? Maybe they're doing it for the views or whatnot, or they're just balling like that to where they can afford to splurge on a whole nother phone just because of the color. Me, I ain't got it like that. But trust me, if I see this phone in red, you guys will see it here on the channel for sure. All right. So that's it as far as the spec sheet. Now, everything here, okay, we've got Honor 7X box. As you can see, this is like an aqua blue or something, some kind of blue. We've got the quick start guide here. All right. Here is our charging brick. And I just put 7X on it with a Sharpie. Just because I don't charge any of my devices with chargers that come from other devices. I always charge my devices with the chargers that they come with because that's how you get the most efficient charge. Unless it's wirelessly charged, then I just throw it on the wireless charger. I'm not plugging it. All right. Now, here is the cord. All right, my bad, y'all. We reached the video time limit, so it cut me off, but I'm back on. So here is the cord right here. You can see that is micro USB 2.0. And I have to make a little line and write 7X right there on that side so I know which side to plug in. Because again, not like Type-C where you can just plug it in and you don't have to worry about the orientation. With 2.0, you gotta make sure that you're plugging it in the right way, or you'll mess around and bend the prongs and ruin it, and you won't be able to charge your phone. And this phone is not wireless charge compatible, nor does it have waterproofing or dustproof. Now, that's not a big thing to me. That's not a big deal to me. All right, I could care less about that. And yes, I live in Seattle, Washington. I'm looking out the window right now. It's pouring down, raining outside. We got a rainbow out there. You know what I'm saying? It's sunny outside. Man, we got like 3 different weather conditions going on right now all at the same time. And I don't care about no waterproofing or no dustproofing. Because I'm from the old school. I'm a 70s baby. I was born in 78. I'm 39 years old. I was always taught never to keep your electronics near water. So I don't care, you know what I'm saying, how waterproof these devices are. It ain't going in no water. But I just want to put that out there for y'all. All right? No waterproofing. No dustproof. No IP67 or 68 ratings. None of that. All right? All right. Now, here's another bright spot about this device. Maybe Honor is just extremely considerate, or they know that they're not going to get a lot of third-party support from companies wanting to make cases for these devices. So we've got a little clear TPU soft rubber case that comes in the box, which is extremely thoughtful and extremely convenient to keep you from having to look for additional accessories. Typically, people want to, get screen protectors and cases for their devices. All right. It's solid that they put this in the case. Now, since I pre-ordered this device, Huawei, they also threw in another case. And I'm not really a big fan of this, but I guess if something happens to my clear case here that came in this box, they also threw in this other case that says Lords Mobile Honor IGG, and then I don't really know who this figure is, but they threw this in here as well. And this is also a soft, rubbery feel. Actually, that actually feels pretty good. That actually feels really good, but I just can't rock this because I'm a grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying? I can't be walking around with this case on my phone looking real childish. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a child at heart. You know what I'm saying? And I still play video games. I mean, I'm a PS4 Pro guy to the heart, you know what I'm saying? And the Nintendo Switch guy, but I can't mob around, you know what I'm saying, with this on my phone. Man, I got a reputation to uphold, man. I'm pristine. Man, who this, man? Hold up. All right, my bad, y'all. I had to take that call. But yeah, as I was saying, man, yeah, I got a reputation to uphold, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't be walking around, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, with this case on my joint. Now, if I was like 13, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? All right, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, you can pass with that. But I mean, I'm 39, man. I'm about to say hello to 40 this year. Walking around with this cat on the back of my phone? Man, no, sir. I appreciate the gesture, though, Honor. You know what I'm saying? I really do. So that's it for the unboxing. That's everything that's in the box. Now let's get to this beauty right here. Yeah. Let's get to this beauty right here. Woo. All right, y'all. The Honor 7X. Now, I've already gotten this phone out of the box, customized it, downloaded all my apps on it, you know, got everything to my liking. This phone is absolutely gorgeous. Right now, you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about as far as not being able to distinguish between this and a flagship. All right, I guarantee if any one of you guys get this device and you hand it to somebody, you ask them how much you think this cost, I guarantee they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's easy. That's $600, $700, $800, if not more. And make sure you got your camera out to take a photo of the shock and awe on their faces when you tell them the actual price, because it will be a Kodak moment. For sure, it will be a Kodak moment. All right, now, boom, let's unlock this bad boy. Actually, now here, let me get a lighter wallpaper on here, or let me switch it back to the wallpaper. This is the wallpaper that it was when it was out of the box. All right, so let me switch it back to that wallpaper so you guys can see that 18:9 aspect ratio in its entirety. All right, so 5.93-inch display, full HD, beautiful. Okay, at the top here, this is our 8-megapixel sensor. This is our receiver here for phone calls, and then there's another LED light over there in the top right for notifications that blinks green, red, or blue. Bottom of the device here, we've got Honor branding. All right, now moving around to the sides. Clean on the side, power button right here, volume rocker up and down right here. Moving around to the top of the device, we've got nothing up here. It's nice and smooth. And then we've got a little noise canceling microphone right here. All right. Now moving around to the left of the device, we've got nothing but the SIM tray right here. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, it is a dual nano SIM setup, or a nano SIM and an SD card for memory expansion. All right. Now, I do want to mention too that this phone is GSM unlocked, not CDMA. So if you are a Verizon or Sprint carrier, US cellular carrier, Boost, Virgin, sorry, but if you get this phone thinking you can use it with them networks, you assed out. You might as well go ahead and get that return process started right now. All right. Now, this phone is only meant for GSM carriers. You know, AT&T, T-Mobile, Metro PCS, Cricket Wireless, you know, carriers like that. Yeah, you throw one of them SIMs off in this joint and you got action. You know what I'm saying? You got action. All right, now, bottom of the device. We do have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. All right. Here is, if you guys can see right there, the very disappointing USB 2.0. I'm salty about that 2.0, man. How come this can be Type-C? You know what I'm saying? Haven't y'all seen Marquez Brownlee's video, Type-C, everything? Type-C, all the things? Come on, man. Type-C. You know what I'm saying? It's 2018. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Bottom firing speaker right here. Sounds really good. We do have DTS sound on this device. And so you've got a lot of big sound that definitely comes from this bottom firing speaker. Now, there's not a dual speaker setup. There's no speaker here in the receiver. It's just the bottom firing speaker. That's no problem. You're not going to have any problem hearing your notification sounds, hearing your ringtone, you know, when your phone is ringing. And it's not one of those things where you have to turn it up to maximum volume just to be able to hear it. It gets plenty loud. All right. Now, back of the device. As you can see, while the light shines and glares on this thing of beauty, we've got an Honor, very faint Honor branding right there. Here is our perfectly placed fingerprint sensor that works 100% of the time. And this fingerprint is extremely fast. I mean, extremely, extremely fast. It's just as fast as the OnePlus 5 and the 5T. And I think that those have got to be the best fingerprint sensors on the market right now. All right, very fast fingerprint sensor. And then we've got, actually you can see there on the bottom, we've got an antenna line. We've got another antenna line right there that just runs through the camera. And then here is the dual camera setup. I believe this is the 2 megapixel. Here's the 16 megapixel main. And then here's our rear facing flash and laser autofocus. All right. Now, as I'll display really quickly, you'll see me tap the fingerprint sensor. Tap. Oh. Boom. And it just opened right up. All right. Scrolling through this device is an absolute breeze. As you can see, I do have the app drawer setting right there. You can change that to do away with the app drawer if you just want more of an iPhone-ish type of setup where you can just have all of your apps displayed across screens and you just scroll right and left to get to all your applications. Or you can just keep the app drawer and there you go. Now, like I said, I mean, the UI on this device is EMUI 5.1. I'm a fan. I like it. You know, I know some of you people that are stock Android enthusiast, you may not like the EMUI skin that's over Android 7.1, but I'm a fan of it. I like the way that it looks. Now, another thing that I do have to mention is there's tons of bloatware that comes on this device from Huawei. Now, don't panic. You can erase it if you want to free up that memory. If there's something that you want to use, keep it. If you're not feeling it, get rid of it and free up the space. Now, as I mentioned, this is the 32 gig variant. And before I downloaded any of my own apps on this device, when I checked, it had already used like 13 gigs just with the amount of bloatware that was on the device. As a matter of fact, let's go down to settings, about phone, and you can see right here. So we've got EMUI version 5.1, Android 7.0, RAM, 3 gigs of RAM, internal storage, 32 gigs. And so, like I said, I mean, just with the bloatware that came on it, it was at 13 something. And then after I loaded all my applications on it, which is maybe only about like 20 something apps or something, maybe not even that. Now we've got 37 gigabytes free. Okay, so, and then I do have my 128 gig Samsung SD card in here for memory expansion. So I'm not sweating, you know, the fact that I've only got 15 more gigs available. I've got plenty of storage on this device with that SD card in here. So just something to be mindful of. I didn't want you guys to sweat bullets, you know, once you found out the amount of gigs that the bloatware was taking up. If you're not feeling it, just get rid of it and free up the storage on the device for you to use for whatever you want to use it for. All right. I like the fact that Honor and Huawei, they allow you to do that. Some phones, they lock you in and you can't erase the stuff. And that sucks. It's like, you know, man, I should have the option to be able to erase it if I'm not going to use it. You know what I mean? Now, as I mentioned, this is Android 7.0. So typical swipe down to get to your notifications, and then swipe down again to get to your quick toggles up there. If you want to edit those toggles, you just hit that little pencil right there. And then you got tons of more other little quick toggles that you can just press and add up there. And then, you know, when you scroll down to get to your quick toggles, then you'll see them right there. Okay, now you see exactly what my brightness is. This phone gets plenty bright. I'm not exactly sure what the amount of nits is, but you should not have any trouble with viewing angles in any conditions. This phone gets very bright. And again, man, I mean, if the light or the sunshine is glaring on your phone, man, just change the position. You know what I mean? I mean, who's going to sit there trying to look at their device with the sun beaming on the screen? I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. You know, I feel like people just want something to talk about a device. Oh, it has poor viewing angles. Really? How about you stop trying to hold the damn phone in the direct sunlight? You know what I mean? That seems to be the most logical choice to me. Now, with the fingerprint sensor here. All right, y'all, back in. My bad. I had to take that call. Man, I'm a commodity this morning, man. I'm a hot commodity right now. People keep calling me. I need to just put this phone on Do Not Disturb. I forgot to do that, so my bad, y'all. But yeah, so we do have the ability with the fingerprint sensor to scroll down on it, and I can bring down the notification shade, or I can move it back up. Okay, that's a nice little touch. We do have the touch gestures where you can double tap to turn the screen off, or let's see, well, while the screen is off, you can double tap to turn the screen on. And I like the fact that on the Huawei and Honor devices, every time you lock the screen and unlock it, there's different little pictures there, supposed to be at least. Well, it's not doing it right now, but I know that they're like, if you go to photos, I mean, there's like 20 or 25 different pictures that it's saved on there. And a lot of times when you unlock your device, or when you open up the screen without unlocking it, then it's a different picture. And so, you know, I can appreciate the artwork, and, you know, it looks really nice, especially on this 18:9 aspect ratio. So it's a nice touch. Now, another thing that I do happen to like is you are able to customize a lot of different things. And so, as you guys can see, as I'm scrolling my apps, this is the page transition. Now, if you want to change your transitions, just long press on the screen, and then it's going to bring up wallpaper, widgets, transitions, and settings. And so you just go to transitions, and then here's the default transition. Okay, here's perspective. That's what that looks like. Squeeze, box. Go ahead and scroll over, flip over, rotate, page, and windmill if you want a windmill effect. So I like that page, and just go ahead and hit back, and there you go. So that's how you change your transitions. Now, browsing on this device has been a breeze. I've experienced no lag, no stutters of any kind whatsoever. All right. Just open up the Bible app. Here, let me zoom in on that, man. Now, you guys pause that and get that word up in you real quick, all right? You know what I'm saying? Pause that real quick, get that word. So that's the Bible app. All right. Let's see. Let's go to the Google suite. Google. All right. So Google pops right up. And you see, just scrolling through that, a lot of my stories on football and electronics. This is how I stay up on a lot of my technology. See new leaked Android Oreo build for the Snapdragon Samsung Galaxy S8 and adds Dolby Atmos. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. All right, let's go back to Google, Gmail. All right, Gmail just pops right open. Go to Maps. Okay, Maps just pops up. Google Drive. All right, a lot of these apps I haven't even gone in yet. So Google Play Music. And I'm just opening some apps just so that you guys can get an idea of, you know, how snappy the device is. And then we'll also check the RAM management as well. Thus far, I haven't had an issue with the RAM management. I mean, this phone can definitely handle a bunch of different apps being open at the same time. I'm not really I'm not a mobile gamer. I've always been more of a console gamer, but I have seen some video footage of some people that did game on this device, and they didn't seem to have any problems whatsoever. Now, unless they were playing something where it was just extremely graphically intense. But most of the games that you'll play in this device, it's going to handle them just fine with no problems. All right. So we're in Google Sheets right now. Google Sheets just pops open. Now you get the idea, and then there's a little trash can right there. You can just hit that and just clear out all the apps that you had open in the background. All right, but scrolling and opening applications just seems to be a breeze. Haven't noticed any lag or stutters whatsoever with this device. Now the camera. These are two photos that I took yesterday really quickly. Or actually, this phone actually has a gallery. And I'm so used to using Google Photos. All right. So here's a selfie that I took of me yesterday just being silly. Okay, this is the 8 megapixel front facing cam. Jesus, man, people just won't leave me alone right now. I'm sorry. And then this is a picture that I took of my little Android iHome right there. And as you can see, I mean, that's a really, really good photo right there. So definitely looking forward to putting together the camera sample video for you guys to really display and show off, you know, the camera features and everything that this phone possesses. Now, actually, speaking of the camera, it's got a bunch of different settings, okay? So these are all the settings in the camera. We got resolution, GPS tag, priority save, and SD card, which I've got my SD card in there. So any photos or videos that I take, it's gonna go in the SD card. Automatically add watermarks. I have that checked just so that when I flash a picture, it's gonna say Honor 7X, because I take so many pictures with so many different devices and they all get uploaded to Google Photos. And sometimes I forget which phones I took with what. With what device. I mean, so it's kind of difficult at times. But we've got assistive grid, we've got mirror reflection. Okay, and the screen will go dark if you're not doing anything. Got mute, timer, audio control, touch to capture smiles, object tracking, touch and hold shutter icon, volume button function, ultra snapshot, and image display. All right. So if we go out of that and then scroll to the right, then these are all the different camera modes that we've got. We've got photo, pro, video, HDR, panorama, light painting, time lapse, slow-mo, filter, effects, watermark, audio note. And then if you click on more, there's going to be like 2 more different modes that you can download onto the device. And so as you can see, we've got good food, and so if we want a good food mode, we can download that, and then a document scan. And so if I just want to add those, I just click on add, and it'll add it to the modes that are already present. All right, so that's pretty solid. I mean, you know, you're getting a lot with this particular device. I do also like the fact that on the bottom here, you can change the capacitive button configuration. And so as you guys can see, I've got it backwards. You know, typically the back is over here, and then home is in the middle, and then recents is over here on the right. Well, I flipped them because although I'm a lefty, I always hold my phone with my right hand. And so I just like having the ability to just reach over with my thumb and just use those. You know, typically I don't use the phone with 2 hands unless I absolutely have to. And that's another reason why I've got my phone and my text messaging apps right there, because I can just easily access those with my thumb. You know, now there is a one-handed mode that I've enabled, and to access that, you just swipe the capacitive buttons to the right. Now you've got one-handed mode. So if this phone seems to be a little bit too big, a little bit too cumbersome for you, then you can just throw it in one-handed mode, and you can control everything just like that. And it just reduces the screen, and you can do everything that you would do with the screen at its regular size. Okay, so that's another nice touch as well. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the unboxing and the first initial thoughts and impressions for the Honor 7X. My personal opinion thus far, I mean, I've had this phone for about 2 days now. Playing with it has been an absolute breeze. It's been a joy to use. Very reminiscent to other Huawei devices that I've had, and so a lot of the stuff was familiar. But again, for the price point, I feel like you're getting a lot of phone with a lot of flagship type features and functions for the price. What is the price? I'm so glad you asked. You can get this phone right now for $199. That's the full retail price. Okay, for $199, you're getting an 18:9 6-inch full HD display. You're getting a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor. You're getting dual cameras on the back. You know, with aperture control. You know, so you're able to do portrait mode with the selfie camera and the rear cameras. You've got all these features and functions, touch gestures, all at the tender price of $199.99. Now, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm really excited for the budget market this year, because it's already been proven that OEMs can make devices without charging $1,000 for them. And a lot of these phones, they all do the same things. I mean, there's nothing that $1,000 device that I have that this phone can't do. It may do it a little slower because it doesn't have the processing power that a lot of those devices have. But I mean, what are we talking about here? A matter of seconds? You know, it's no big deal. I mean, so it's devices like this that make me really apprehensive to. All right, y'all, sorry about that. Yeah, so what I was saying was it's devices like this that really make it complicated to want to pay a lot of top dollar for a lot of devices out there that are charging top dollar premium price points. When you've got devices like this that are $200 that have a lot of the features and functions and the looks of a lot of these top priced smartphones. And so I feel like that's the direction in which we're headed in the smartphone market, and it's very exciting, because a lot of people don't want to break the bank to buy a phone. Now, me personally, I mean, I've always been a mobile phone geek. I've always had, the top phones, whether it was Android or iOS, and so me, I'll probably continue to get my hands on these devices just because I'm excited about tech innovation, and I always love to see what they're doing next. I mean, how one company is going to try to outdo the other, with different technology and introducing different things into the packages in which they put out for us. And plus, I have the ability now to, since I've got this channel and this platform, I like to present those things and feature them here on the channel for you guys, just to kind of give you guys some information on whether or not you guys want to go out and purchase those devices, whatever they may be. So, but yeah, starting the new year off with a budget bang. $199 for the Honor 7X here. I think that is an absolute steal. I'm 48 hours in with it, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm excited about it. I'm pumped. The hype is real. It's a good device, and I'm very excited about the fact that we finally get a budget device with the aspect ratio that it seems to be a lot of OEMs are reverting to nowadays, in 2017, moving on into 2018. And excuse me, from a reputable company as well. I mean, like I said, Huawei is the #2 phone manufacturer in the world right now. Now we have had some other companies that have made budget devices with the 18:9 aspect ratio and some other little features, but these are companies that you and I have never really heard of much before, right? I mean, I think there's like a company called Blue Boo, and then there's another company. I get emails from them all the time. I can't think of the name of them, but they make like knockoff versions of phones. Like I know, like when the S8 and the S8 Plus came out, when the Note 8 came out, then these companies, they were making like cheaper versions of those phones that had like similar specs and the similar looking displays at like a fraction of the cost. But you never really hear too much about those devices because nobody really pays attention to them. And I find that most people are comfortable spending their hard-earned money on companies that they know are reputable, companies that they know are putting out good quality products. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see that Honor decided to start the year off with a big bang by blessing us with the 7X here, with all these wonderful, specs and features and performance at a $199 price tag. It's very exciting. So that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen, for the Honor 7X. This is my unboxing, first initial thoughts and impressions. Definitely stay tuned for the camera sample video that I'm going to be doing here in a few days, and I'll have that up, so stay tuned. And then you guys already know I'll follow that up with the full pristine review. So I'll have that up in about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I got my main SIM card in the device. I mean, so I am using it as my daily driver, and so I just want to, make sure that I really familiarize myself with the device before I hit you guys with that review, so I can give you guys some real deal, real world usage information. All right. So keep it locked right here on Pristine Mobile Tech. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share the video with anybody that you know that may be looking for a device, especially for those that don't want to break the bank for a good quality smartphone. This is going to be hard to overlook. All right. This is going to be extremely difficult to overlook. All right. And you guys already know, man, keep it safe. Stay blessed. Again, welcome to 2018. Much blessings and prosperity to you all in 2018. Let's make it a good year. Get your lives right with Christ. Please get spiritually fit, because I know that we're living in the last days, and yes, it's 2018 and we're all blessed to see 2018, but we're that much closer. We're that much closer to the rapture. Nobody knows when God's going to return, but we know that we're definitely living in the last days. Okay, and the rapture is going to happen just like that, snap of a finger. And the question is, when it happens, will you be ready? You know what I mean? Keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives, man. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.